It doesn't define you.
Right, and it doesn't make your worth. I just want to feel healthy, you know? I want to feel healthy physically. I want to be able to, I keep saying, I'm when I get pregnant, I want to be at a healthy weight, you know, so that way, like, there's fewer issues, you know, and all that. But really, the number on the scale does not make you you. And reality is, I gained 30 pounds from last fall. Yeah.
And are you blaming yourself?
I mean, yeah. I mean, no one got me to this other than myself.
Right.
And that's a little disappointing. I feel insecure. I don't feel confident at all. I'm struggling with myself. I'm struggling to film. I'm struggling to post on social media because I feel not like myself. And not to shame other people because I know it's such a sensitive topic, but I gained 30 pounds. If I'm being honest, I think I weigh like 185, and that's probably like the biggest, quote unquote biggest I've ever, should I say heaviest? That's the heaviest I've ever been. And I don't like it. It makes me sad. I mean, clearly I think a lot had to do with it, with what I was going through mentally in the winter.
And that's not victimizing, adding it to grief. I'm just playing the devil's advocate, so I'm not trying to get bashed or anything. I'm just saying, like, would that be considered an excuse? Or, I mean, would you say you have been putting in the effort? That's also an honest question. And,
yes and no.
And it's not to shame.
Just sometimes I just...
To get to the root of it.
Mentally, I don't feel there. I don't feel like even going for a walk sometimes. And let alone pushing myself to sweat. Like, it's just like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I have the energy for that.
But you did at one point, so what got you there? Comfort,
yeah, because once you get into this loop of eating horribly, eating comfortably, being easily influenced to eat stuff, and then you're just gonna want it all the time because of all the carbs, all the sugars that are in it.
I still have fat boy syndrome. I will say that for a fact. 3 years ago, I was about 300 pounds. I've lost about 60 to 70, and even till today, yeah, I feel great, but internally sometimes I don't feel great. So I mean, we're all in a situation that seems like we're not you're good. That seems like we're just not too happy with. You're at a place where you want to cut some weight. I'm at a place where, yeah, I've cut weight, but I still feel like
you still feel content.
Like I've gained. If I eat a slice, I beat myself up. I mean, that's also that's a bad thing too.
Well, I think maybe like being Hispanic, Mexican has a lot to do with the struggle in our weight and in our body appearance, because I feel like body dysmorphia is a huge thing where you look at yourself in the mirror and you're actually at a good weight and you feel like you look heavier than that.
Well, I mean, being Hispanic, you grow up being roasted all the time.
Yeah, like you get nicknames like gordo, gorda,
or
flaco, flaca.
Yeah. I didn't.
Or just being roasted, yeah, like, dang, se puso más llenito, está más gordito, like, oh, they gained weight type of thing.
But never ask how you truly doing.
Exactly, but like, even as a kid, you don't deserve to hear that.
I remember when I was fat all my life. All my life. I mean, maybe when I was like, maybe 6 through 8, I was a bit slimmer, but I got skinny in high school, 8th grade summer, because I got tired of people bullying me. I was the kid that was never picked. I was picked last. There you go. Man. I was picked last. Dodgeball, any sport, sports. You name it. I was the last kid picked, if not the second last. But Or you would get picked first. I'm peeking all the way. I apologize. We're just jumping straight in. We're talking about some
I
weight.
just started to cry a little bit because
Yeah.
I felt so insecure.
We're having a bit of a struggle filming this video because Brithzy was running into not just that, but I also was running into
A wall. But
bigger wall
yeah.
of discouragement. But we are here. What did I just say?
About being picked last or first.
Yes, you either get picked last because you weren't that great, or you get picked first because you were the biggest one.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that.
So that would mess with me for sure. But
And then like on my hand,
would you say you were
I was always thin.
all your life you were thin?
I was always skinny little girl. I was
see.
Yeah, I was stick como dicen Hispanic person. Estaba así. I was always very thin. I was a late bloomer, if you know what I mean. And then
Wait, for those that don't know what you mean,
late bloomer,
what's a late bloomer?
like to develop into like a woman's body type of thing, I think.
Hey, some people may not know.
Yeah, no, I was very thin in high school, still very thin. Didn't really have curves, quote unquote. And then I got married, I had a baby.
Bodies change.
Yeah, bodies change. But what I still don't like to this day is looking back now when I had Abel, I was still thin. But back then I felt heavier. One, because I had extra tummy now. But on the scale, number-wise, I was thin. But I heard from other people like, oh my gosh, te pusiste más gordita, mija. Or that's más llenita. In the middle of after having Abel and he was in the NICU and all that. And I was like, I mean, I did just have a baby. Like, not everyone just bounces back quickly.
Right.
And then just hearing stuff like that, like when you kind of struggle to get through a little hallway, to get through a little crack, and they're like, ya no cabes, right? And I'm like, girl.
Those jokes will definitely eat me alive.
Yeah, but now looking back where I am today, I was like, I was so hard on myself because of all the comments I heard from adults.
Yeah, Hispanic
adults.
Tios.
Tios, strangers who shouldn't even have a say in your life,
It's insane for sure in the Hispanic. I don't know what it is for any other cultures, but that's
let us know if in your culture like that's happened. Just
it's like the moment you gain weight, they go straight for that. They go straight towards your physical, and they say, "Oh, you've gained weight. I haven't seen you in a while. You've gained weight." And then
when
if you lose weight, you never win.
You go out. They're like, "Estás muy flaco. You're too skinny. You have to eat more."
It's like, dang, you're never happy.
And then when
satisfied. When you're what?
And then when you're heavier, they're like, "Oh, you need to go on a diet. You need to stop eating so much."
And I guess now what has shifted our mindsets, it's okay. I mean, it happens. I mean, I say that it's easier for me to say because I'm on the other side right now. And it's also easy to sound like I'm, I don't want to sound arrogant or cocky or trying to boast myself, but I do feel physically better. So it's easier for me to say, oh, you're going to be fine. When in reality, you don't feel the best. You don't feel fine. You don't feel the greatest. But I think as a husband, I do need to be honest, and also need to, express. I still need to remind you that you're beautiful. That's also part of my as a husband, I would say.
Right.
Affirmations. I mean, I
love affirmations.
Brithzy, I think that's loves affirmations.
Definitely my love language. Like yesterday, it was so funny. We were at Best Buy. I wasn't feeling I literally sometimes wear all black. Like I kind of am today to kind of hide myself. And yesterday I had like this like Def Leopard shirt with a black satin skirt, and I was just like, okay, whatever. And then I'm like prolonging the story, but we went to Best Buy, and then the cashier complimented me. She was like, "Oh my gosh, I love your outfit," and I was like, "Girl," my eyes lit up, and I was just so happy.
No, like, I mean, it definitely
made my day in a way. But anyways, yeah, I love words of affirmation, and I'm not saying that the number on the scale is what matters, and
it doesn't define you,
right? And it doesn't make your worth. I just want to feel healthy, you know? I want to feel healthy physically. I want to be able to, I keep saying, I'm when I get pregnant, I want to be at a healthy weight, you know, so that way, like, there's fewer issues, you know, and all that. But really, the number on the scale does not make you you.
Now, and I think the bottom line or the root of wanting to feel healthy, I mean, of course, we need to feel healthy for our children in the future, but having a child with disabilities that has needs, and you see them every day struggling to breathe, doing anything they can just to be alive. For those that have children, you guys with disabilities, you guys understand where I'm coming from, but seeing them day to day is very hard, because you would do anything to switch the narrative or to say, I wish I would be going through what they're going through instead of them. And I think that's what really motivated me to say I need to keep my body healthy, and I need to be intentional about what I put into my body, because you just really never know. And having, again, going back, a child like Abel, he would do anything for a healthy body, and that really has just pushed me to change the way I just view food. And I come from, I mean, food. My mom, she bakes every day. Food is good. I love food, but accountability is important as much as affirmations. I think we do need to get to a place. I would like for you to tell me, Fredo, you're getting pretty big, and I love you. I think that's love.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely love affirmations, and I have a hard time sometimes with accountability, because it feels a little uncomfortable for me. I feel like I'm getting in trouble or something. I don't know. It goes back to like an inner child thing.
It's traumas.
Yeah. But I definitely need accountability. Like I told my little brother, because he's like into the gym and all that. And I was like, I need accountability, y'all. I need to like be healthy.
It's important. Your circle's important.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just tired of the loop. Like in 2020, we started our fitness journey after Abel passed. And that's when we both lost a lot of weight. And then I started to get comfortable. We moved into the house. And that's when it spiraled down to like, I fluctuated in my weight a lot. I'm just tired of the loop. I'm so tired of like doing good for like a week, doing good for a few days, and then ordering pizza that weekend.
Because you feel like, truthfully, you deserve it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, I did good this week. Let me order myself some pizza. And then that's where this cycle starts all over again. And then Monday, I'm like, dang it.
Cycles. I have a question, though. Why is it that if a husband or a man in the marriage comes off, or it can come off as controlling, narcissistic, if I tell you don't eat that, or you're eating too much,
like in front of other people?
In front of people, yeah. But if you were to tell me that in front of people, it seems,
oh, she cares.
Wow, like she really cares about him. Like she doesn't want him to go down that route.
Well, it probably goes back.
Whoa, I just looked down and I saw 444.
Stop.
But anyways, that's another conversation.
I think it goes back to just maybe like Mexican household mentality, like the machista.
Ego.
Machista.
It goes back to ego.
Yeah, the machista, to where maybe like older people, like our parents, they might think, oh, is he controlling her? Like he's not letting her eat, type of stuff. But to me, I was like, bro, please hold me accountable. Like, I do not, my feelings may get hurt in the beginning, but I'll get over it.
If you're married, with one thing that has helped with us, of course, communication is super important. Not us about to give marriage advice, but I guess this is some marriage advice from a young couple. So take it, because I believe young couples, as well as the older couples that have been 50, 60 plus years,
of course,
are. Can you be married for 60? Yeah, I guess you can. So, I don't. I
hope,
so
say you're 80, you're married at 20.
I think it's just as important. in the younger years. So
Of course.
what I'm about to say, I think it's important. What's how communicate that, or communication's what? Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Communicate. I think in cursive. Communication is super important. It's key. So what we do before we go to a gathering, we literally talk about: are we going to make that decision?
Yeah.
Are we gonna eat that slice? Are we gonna?
And we'll be like, babe, I'm not having desserts. We're gonna go. They're gonna have some cake. I'm not having cake. I'm telling you, so don't offer me a cake.
Or if I'll say if your mom says, no, give him a slice. Give him a slice.
I'm like, no, ma, he's not taking cake. Don't give it to him.
So those.
And it's so hard because our moms would be like, no, then no pasa nada.
And it's hard to say no.
Yeah, especially
for me, at least. Yeah. It's hard to say no.
Yeah, that's something I had to learn really hard. Because I would say yes, I'll take it.
But I think, yeah, if you're struggling, I like how we started with this, because I think weight carries weight.
It does, y'all, but it's okay. I mean,
there's
I'm on a journey of self-love and fitness journey. I'll bring you guys along with it. We're gonna make a little journey video.
Yeah, for sure.
Our fitness journey again. And
you guys can watch that on our Instagram.
Yes.
We're filming, actually, today is April 17th and it's 1:16. But we're filming, for those that are just new here, we're starting a brand new podcast approach, but we've been filming a lot of episodes behind the scenes. So we're staying consistent with
the daily filming.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean the weekly filming.
But with the idea of taking a break at the same time. But it's not really a break, but I think the overall point is to encourage, or to be able to help us see the patterns as well with grief. Because even how we talk, a week from now, I find myself sometimes in a better place, in a darker place, and I think those patterns are super important to be able to witness. But words are important. Words carry weight. So we do want to be in a better place before we release these episodes, because I think where we're at today is it's inconsistent still. We're still
getting through stuff.
We're still getting through stuff. We're still healing. So we don't want to just say, even though we're saying just now, like right now, our words, we don't have it figured out. I mean, we don't all have it figured out, but let's just say our perspective in grief right now may not be the best perspective due to our hurt. But that's okay, because through these words, we're going to be healing when we do release this episode.
Right, and it's part of the journey. You know, we don't we don't just want to take the break and not film anything while we're still in the valley, quote unquote. I think there's beauty in also highlighting the rough drafts, like the not so pretty stuff, instead of just showing you guys a pretty painted picture.
Here we are now.
Saying, hey guys, we're back. We're so good.
This is gonna sound weird, but we had actually a newborn, or a
preemie.
Yeah, a preemie baby in our own home for the week.
Yep, staying with us for a week.
And I think there's some context obviously to that, but we think it obviously was it's been a special week for sure.
I think a lot of things were revealed to us, and I think there was some hope that was stirred up in our hearts and souls. You guys need context.
I mean, we don't want to give too much either, because this is also personal, but just like in our lives of what that looked like for us.
To put you a brief description, my sister was pregnant, and she was actually due in April and gave birth early, 2 months early, in January.
Right.
Yeah, end of January, and the baby had to stay in the NICU and all that. He's home now, and long story short, my mom was remodeling her home.
But here's where it gets a bit spiritual, and just the way the connection. I think it's well worth sharing. But now you were put in a position to see it from the outside. because, right, your sister had to go through the NICU as well. It was obviously still different.
Right. But still triggering in a sense.
Very triggering because you went back to the same hospital to visit.
Yeah. And
now your sister with... Go ahead.
There's so much context.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Okay, so pretty much during that time, I still felt a lot of anxiety. So that was when I, like, the first time I went out in 3 months was to see my sister in the hospital to give birth. At
the same location that you had Abel?
Yes. It was the same room before they took her to surgery.
Same doctor?
Same doctor. Delivered my nephew.
Same diagnosis?
Delivered my baby, Abel. Same diagnosis. She had preeclampsia, high blood pressure. So it was like on the dot, kind of very similar. And I was
back to square one kind of thing.
Kind of like very triggered, like, oh my gosh, like what is happening? I have to go to the hospital. I hadn't stepped foot in the hospital since Abel, I believe, maybe. And
no, for sure.
Right, yeah. I was just really scared, to say the least. I was very worried because of my sister. Her health was getting worse, and they had to take her to C-section.
You knew you needed to be there?
I knew I wanted to be there with everything. I wanted to be
sister
there
to sister,
wholeheartedly. Like I wanted to hold my sister's hand, and I was like, you know what? I have to get in this car. I have to go. And Fredo walked me through it. I have to face
my fears.
Yeah. But
I think that was interesting.
That was the beginning of it.
Because 3 months hadn't been out, and that was your first time you step into something different than your own home.
Yeah.
But fast forward now.
Yeah, fast forward.
Which is...
Baby's good. He's came home off oxygen, off anything great. Attached to him. He is a healthy baby boy named Jonah.
Love the name.
And anyways, my mom was remodeling her home. Very last minute. And they needed a place to stay.
The whole home, like the kitchen, hallway area, windows
were being taken off, like paint, it's very strong.
Dust, paint, everywhere. Everything.
And they needed a place to stay for a solid week till they finished the remodeling and all the painting and stuff. And the question was brought to our attention because clearly we have rooms available.
Right.
A room available. And my mom asked me, like, hey, do you think they could stay for a few days? Like, for 4 days. And I was like, 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 I don't want them to stay. I was just like, I had a feeling I was going to be asked.
You have a reason.
Yeah. And...
Or you're about to explain.
Yeah, I'm about to explain. I told my mom, I was like, okay, let me think about it. I'll talk to Alfredo about it, and I'll get back with you. That's all I said. That was like a week prior till she asked again.
What made you just that? You just had to take that breather, or just that thought process, or why was there that interruption?
Because I didn't know how I was going to react to seeing a baby, and just like the scenario of I lost Abel.
Going back
and
to
then I have to embrace this new baby, which I want to. He's my nephew, yeah. I just hope it doesn't get taken in the wrong way. No,
I know your heart. I know exactly where you're coming from.
Like, I guess like the grief, I was scared of the grief I was going to feel again. And I didn't want to feel bitter about it. And however I did, I felt very bitter as to why this, why not me? Just like, why not me? Like, I want a baby boy. Negative talk, only the enemy could put those thoughts in your head. And of course, grief in real life. And I was just really, really torn, you guys. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. Like, I wanted to see my nephew. I was scared to hold him. I was scared to see him. I didn't know if I was going to cry, if I was going to get panic attack.
You wanted it to be genuine.
Yes. I wanted to be the most genuine, to have the Holy Spirit just come over me and be like, God, this is you. And I was really conflicted for like a week. And I told Fredo, I was like, I don't know what to do. And
prayed about it.
I prayed about it. And God is so like intentional. He's very strategic. And I came to God in prayer. I was like, God, I just need you to be very clear with me. And I know you're going to move something in me and in Alfredo and our
What was
hearts.
my response? I can't remember.
You were like, let's pray about it.
That's right. Yeah.
You were like, they're family. That's what family's for. But
Yeah.
let's pray about it first.
Yeah. Let's pray about it. It's maybe God is trying to teach us something, or
yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I had received word like that week prior, and then God was basically telling me, I'm going to take you out of the grief, you and Alfredo. Like, I'm going to bring back light into the darkness that you have in the depths of your soul. I'm going to bring back light in your eyes. And I was like, and I came and I went into prayer. I was like, God, I just need to see a dream, because I feel like God talks to me in dreams. I have like the craziest dreams ever that kind of come out to be real life.
Britzy's the kind of person that she'll have dreams of someone pregnant, and it comes out being true, or just definitely I would say. And
just other things, like I feel
spiritual dreams,
discernment in my dreams, and I told God, I was like, God, I need you to give me a crystal clear dream of my sister being here in this home, my baby nephew being here in this home. And surely enough, that night I had that dream that my sister was in my house talking with Alfredo. They were having a conversation, like laughing, and I was like, and I woke up shook.
Wow.
I woke up like, wow, God answers prayers. And I was still torn, very conflicted. No, I was like, are you sure, God? Are you sure that's what you want me to do? Like, I wanted to comfort my hurt. I wanted to still like cater to it, caress it. And I heard God just telling me, Brithzy, Alfredo, I'm doing something while you guys are serving me in this. This is how you are going to serve me. You may not understand it, but just watch. Like, I'm about to do something in your lives that's way more than what it looks like on the outside. It's more than just you helping your sister out, you and your nephew out. This goes like to Abel, to your generations, to your future, to
it's deeper.
It's way deeper. And surely enough, I don't know if you want to say anything. I'm just talking and talking.
No, I'm listening because I think you're telling it beautifully. No, I mean, I prayed about it as well, and that same day we said, no, I think for sure we got to do it, because God instilled in my heart, like, you have to serve. It doesn't need to make sense to you. You don't have to understand it. Why me questions, you might as well go ahead and put those out the window. We can talk about that later, but right now I need you to serve me going back this direction, because I'll be honest, I felt like the enemy was just laughing at me. Just like, you're never gonna have this story. Your story's over. Now you got to see everyone's celebrations, and your celebration's over. You lost your son, your life, your story is over. But I have news for you. It's not over. And Fredo, if you're watching this 3 months from now, there's some news, because it's not over. It's
not over. And that's really what God taught us in that week. My nephew came home.
He came home.
And I said, you know what? If this is how I'm going to serve God, and if this is us being obedient to God, I'm here for it. I'm open to it. And we just prayed for peace, for calm, for God's arms to just wrap us.
We got to experience a healthy
experience.
Like it was just, what would you
interaction.
say? Our friend Crystal said it was like, that's what you call exposure therapy. Like, even as well with, if you're, if you lost your child, or if you're going through grief, those are also great exercises.
Yeah, because I'll be honest, prior to like my nephew, being born, I think we struggled a lot with children, with newborn, seeing people become pregnant, seeing people have their children, have their babies, and
gotta be careful with that.
Yeah, you have to be careful, because it could definitely build in a thorn in you that will be hard to get out. And I feel like I definitely was bitter in that.
We almost got stuck.
Yeah, and I I almost didn't feel genuinely happy for people who were celebrating that. And I was like, but this is not me. Like, I want to feel happy. I am happy for them, but I just don't feel it in me. Like, there's something stuck in me, you know? So I feel like God really was breaking that in us.
That's good.
Through Jonah staying here.
And I'll be honest, God hasn't fully revealed what he needs to reveal, but I think I already seen it. It just comes with time, patience. But whatever had to happen, it happened, and it was just amazing to the way it just worked out. Like,
yeah.
It's not that they had to stay.
Right.
We could have said no.
Of course.
But in our hearts, we just knew.
It's bigger than just our feelings, our hurt, our emotions. It was bigger than that. It was God saying, don't worry, I know what I'm doing. This is part of the plan. And
I think he's teaching us simplicity, that it's not always that deep either.
Yeah, and it's not always about us.
It's not.
It's not.
And truthfully, the situation had to be the way it is. But it does make me sometimes question or think about, wow, I think, God, you're definitely doing something, because it's not a coincidence that you had to now witness your sister go through it. Yes, of course, can negative thoughts come in, and can you go into perspective about, is there something wrong in our family, or is just negative?
Yeah, just negative thoughts.
It's not real.
No. And I don't know, God just was
It's been
moving.
Beautiful.
Yeah, he was moving for sure. And it may not make sense to you guys.
Right. But I hope someone listening can.
But my nephew came. He came home. He stayed with us. They barely left yet 2 days ago.
Kind of miss him now.
Yeah, it was kind of sad. It was bittersweet when they left. And I got to hold him, and I felt peace.
Yeah, how'd that feel?
Like I said, I was scared initially, but I felt God just give me such a peace, like I cannot even understand. And I truly got to enjoy him for him. Wow. And not for my hurt, and not for my bitterness, not for my grief. And I got to really feel the peace. And then, I mean, don't get me wrong, there will probably be days I still have those thoughts, but that's where I'm like, God, nope, it's not from God. It doesn't belong here.
It is not. And then, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, that was my TED Talk.
No, that's good. I think.
How did you feel? Because I know you held him.
I felt great. I didn't know what I was going to feel. I was afraid to not feel anything. And I was also afraid. I just wanted to, because I knew in my heart I felt pure and genuine, but that wall of grief and hurt was, obviously getting in the way. And again, just going back to what you're saying, but constant reminders that those are lies. It's not truth. And that's what's going to keep me in a loop. But, and I think right now it's interesting that where we're at as of today. I mean, yes, we don't have children yet, and we've tried and tried. It still hasn't worked out. It's gonna come in God's timing, and I think it's gonna be beautiful. But if we try to get ahead, we're not going to. I don't want to just have a child due to my hurt,
right?
And
to
never,
heal,
or to keep it under as a Band-Aid.
There you go.
But I think it's even amazing having a conversation now about church. I think it's amazing that we're consistent in church, but right now we're not able to attend inside the sanctuary. For those that don't know, we go to Free Chapel, but right now we're having to stay in the overflow.
Yeah.
And
it's just God's strategic with what he's doing.
Right now everything's so strategic. Not us saying strategic.
Strategic.
That's my favorite word.
Strategic. Intentional. There we go. Let's switch it up.
Intentional. Yeah, let's switch it up. What were we saying?
Overflow.
I think it's interesting, even that, my heart as a, I'm a go-getter, as a creative, as just the heart to serve. I feel like I'm not doing anything productive just by sitting in overflow, because in my head I think, I should be doing video content, or I should be doing some photography here. I should be serving one way or another, holding a door, whatever it is. I just need to do something, because that's just the kind of, as a man, I think even as a creative, but like even as a servant of God. But for a long time, I didn't view me sitting there with you while you're going through your anxiety and grief and all that. I didn't realize that was also serving. God really put me into perspective. Like, you're serving your wife right now. Like, you don't need to move anywhere.